So, in my last video, I shared the real investment behind expanding beyond individual therapy. And if you're thinking, I get it, it's going to take time, money, and energy, but how do I actually make it work without burning out? This video is your answer. Here's what I see happening all the time. Therapists get excited about starting a group or creating a course. They dive in with all the best intentions, but 6 months later, they are overwhelmed, behind on their regular client notes, and seriously considering giving up on the whole thing. And it's not because they're not capable. It's not because their idea wasn't good. It's because they tried to add expansion on top of their current life instead of integrating it into a sustainable system. So, I'm Anne, and over the past few years, I've helped therapists successfully expand beyond individual therapy, not by working more hours, but by working more strategically. Today, I'm going to share with you the three-part system that makes the difference between burning out and building something sustainable. So, we have the energy management strategy, which is how to fuel expansion instead of draining yourself. The integration method, which is how to build on what you already have instead of starting from scratch, and the sustainability framework, how to create systems that work even when you're not at 100%. So, first, let's talk about energy management because this is where most therapists get it wrong. They try to expand by adding more to their current schedule. So, they're seeing clients all day, then trying to develop their group curriculum at night, then marketing on weekends. It's a recipe for burnout, not success. Instead, successful therapist entrepreneurs think about energy types, not just time blocks. So there's creative energy versus administrative energy. Creating content for your group requires creative energy. Responding to insurance companies requires administrative energy. Seeing clients requires emotional energy. These are different types of energy, and you need to match the task to your energy state. So I used to try to write my course content after a full day of seeing clients. Disaster. I was emotionally drained and creatively empty. Now I block my highest creative energy times for content creation, usually on Tuesday and Wednesday mornings when I'm feeling extra fresh. Track your energy for 1 week. When do you feel most creative? When are you at your best doing administrative tasks? When do you need to recharge? Then design your expansion around your natural energy rhythms instead of against them. Second, let's talk about integration, how to build on what you already have. So, most therapists think they need to create something completely new. They spend months developing a course on a topic they've never taught, or they start a group for a population they've never worked with. That's making it harder than it needs to be. Look at what you're already doing successfully and ask, how can I serve more people with what I already know how to do? In the early days of my practice, I had a group of teens I was seeing individually who really needed executive functioning support with school. Instead of trying to market to a bunch of strangers, I proposed a group to their parents who then told their friends and ended up with an incredible, successful group. Every therapy session you do contains content that could serve multiple people. The coping strategies you teach, the psychoeducation you provide, the frameworks you use, these can all be adapted for groups, workshops, or courses. Your therapy skills translate directly to other formats. Your ability to hold space becomes group facilitation. Your psychoeducation becomes workshop content. Your treatment planning becomes course design. Your clinical intuition becomes program customization. You're not starting from zero. You're building on years of expertise. So then third, we have the sustainability framework, how to create systems that work even when life gets complicated. So most therapists try to create the perfect program right out of the gate. They spend months perfecting every detail before they launch. I am 100% guilty of this. But perfection is the enemy of sustainability. Instead, start with a minimum viable product. What's the smallest version of your idea that would provide value to people? Instead of creating a 12-week comprehensive anxiety course, start with a 4-week anxiety workshop. Instead of launching an ongoing therapy group, try a 6-week psychoeducational group first. Build systems as you go if necessary, and take note of things you might do differently the next time. Your first group doesn't need to be perfect. Your first course doesn't need to cover everything. Your first workshop doesn't need professional video production. It needs to help people and prove the concept. The fastest way to sustainability is to get feedback early and often. Run your first group, ask participants what was most helpful, then improve the next one. This way you're building something that people actually want instead of something you think they want. Set clear boundaries from the beginning. What days will you work on expansion projects? How many hours per week will you dedicate to this? What will you say no to in order to say yes to this? Boundaries aren't limitations, they're the framework that makes sustainability possible. So here's what I want you to understand: you don't succeed at expansion by adding more to your life. You succeed by creating a life where expansion feels natural and energizing. Instead of, how can I squeeze this into my schedule? Ask, how can I design my work life to include this? Instead of, what new skills do I need to learn? Ask, how can I use the skills I already have in a new way? Instead of, how can I make this perfect? Ask, how can I make this helpful and sustainable? When you approach expansion this way, something magical happens. Instead of draining your energy, it starts to fuel your energy. Instead of competing with your therapy practice, it enhances it. Instead of overwhelming your life, it makes your work more varied and engaging. So, if you're ready to expand beyond individual therapy in a way that actually works with your life instead of against it, here's your next step. Pick one thing, one group, one workshop, one small program. Design it around your existing expertise and energy patterns. Start with good enough and improve as you go. In my next video, I'm going to help you think through a common question I get when people start thinking about expansion. Should you start a group practice, or should you focus on these other revenue streams? If this approach to sustainable expansion resonates with you, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. What's one thing you're already really good at that could serve more people? I read every comment and I love seeing what you're working on. I'll see you in the next video.